I'm having a really hard time filming this video today. And oh my God, shit. I was so excited to do this one, and it's just issue after issue. Either like it stops filming, my microphone dies, or the lighting's bad and I look awful. And like little things, even I'll be like, why do my hands look so big? Why does the back of my head look flat? And you can't even freaking see the back of my head. But somehow I'm thinking the back of my head looks flat. Um, and I'm like really overdue for a trim. So I'm just like bad hair day after bad hair day. Anyways, I'm not gonna let it get me down. Um, I'm still excited to get through this video and hopefully I do. Yeah, it's just one of those days, I guess. So in my most recent video, I got a comment that, oh, and welcome to Reflecting Friday video. I got a comment that had me reflecting and had me realize that I even though I am getting a little bit better coming out of my shell and talking and expressing my thoughts and ideas clearly, um, I've noticed I still say um, I'm trying to get better at communicating, and I feel like that's being it's become a bit of a cop out for me. Um, Instead of just me fully explaining myself, I'll say, um, I'm going to get better at this, or I'm trying to get better. Just because I have gotten a little bit better over time. Um, yeah. So I don't really know how to explain that effectively, I guess. Maybe I did. And if you don't know who I am, my name is Sheena, and I've most of my life speaking, being creative, just simply expressing myself has caused me literal hell on earth. So this is like a really big step for me, and I'm doing it in front of everybody um, because I don't know, maybe I'm crazy. No, but hopefully this will help someone else who's going through some similar things. And like this shit ain't easy. Like I see why YouTubers make decent money because this has been quite difficult. So, anyways, I'm gonna do sort of like a full circle thing, at tapping into, adding into some things that got missed in my most recent video that I would like to expand on and get better at doing this. So, one of the things that I had said was, war is good for the economy. And I said, one of the things I really like to do is take sayings and look into why people say them. Um, so this has been a popular thing that people say because it's been passed down through generations, and some I think it's called like kin- Keynesian economists will say sort of things like so let me back up a little bit. And that I also said that it's true. So economists, they've attributed some post-war booming and growth to war, but um, I think it's one of those things where it was not that they ended up getting a lot of backlash, and so it wasn't the war per se; it was what happened because of the war. So semantics, you can say what you know. It's one of those things, and that's why I always say to look these things up because, um, I feel like we're living in a world where that doesn't happen very often, and just because you might know something doesn't mean the majority of people do. Yeah. So, it was a misunderstanding. I messed this up. So, a misunderstanding of short-term GDP spikes. And think about why this would happen, why people would have these misunderstandings to begin with. Um, it's not just that something is wrong or right. There's always a why, and I feel like looking into these whys are really what's going to help everyone as a society learn and grow and figure stuff out better. You know what I mean? Um, so yeah, moving along. So, uh, I said, I did say people are not born equal. Um, do I, so look, when I said this, okay, do I think that some people are born better than others? Absolutely not. No, I do not. Um, when I'm making videos and trying to talk to an audience, I am trying to be the middle, bridge some bridge some things, so to speak, be the middle in a world that is heavily divided, though I think that that gap is closing in. Um and there's still a lot of people who on one side or the other might feel very passionate about some things that um they they're passionate about, and some people um don't want equality. They say, well, we're not all equal. When I said people are not born equal, what I meant was, some people are born into poverty and some people are not. Some people are born rich. Some people are born into very academic families and some people are not. There are many different ways where we are not born equally, but I don't think anyone's better than the other. And you know, let me see. Let me try. I'm trying not to lose my ability to express myself. Um, so, so yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna keep going. So there's this author and speaker that I like, Thomas Sowell or Sowell. I think he goes by a couple of. It sounds different. Different people say it differently. And he talks about this, but in the perspective where I'm also kind of coming from, it's not necessarily what mainstream media wants you to believe. Um, I think that, and take my story for example, the system has traumatized me and hurt me all through my life and neglected me. Um, and, I think that the that mainstream media wants you to think that these biases are only happening to like certain demographics, but that's simply not true. um I was saying in my recent video, I've talked to lots of dads who've gotten a divorce and they said that, stuff like, oh, I got that judge who just is really hard on the father, and that's a like could be a male judge who is biased against their own gender. And there are so many biases out there, right? And of course there's biases against skin color, but I mean some women hate other women. I think it's called like a sister wound or something. And imagine getting that person as a judge or your teacher, right? The thing is these things, these are the things I'm wanting my app that I'm working on to be able to discover. And I get if you're just coming into my videos, you're probably like, "What? Who the heck is this chick? What's she about? Where's she coming from?" And I just want you to know, like, I have several videos where I talk about the app that I'm working on and little detail by detail because, like I said, I do have a hard time um, doing this whole thing here, Um, but let me put that down. But yeah, so shoot. So yeah, again with the sayings that people say all the time, and um I, I believe, yeah, it was in my propaganda video that I was talking about. One of the sayings that you hear throughout the generations is if you don't vote red or blue, Democrat or Republican, that you're just wasting your vote. And one of the things I like to do is to look. I think those things are like a great place for everyone to start doing their research on, because once you start to dig deep into some of this stuff, it's really interesting to see why people say it. Where did this start? And you can come up to your own conclusions as you want, but for the propaganda one, uh, I mean, so the truth behind that saying is, well, the right and the left are the ones who get the money, right? And the other people running um, aren't going to win anyways, and people say that, right? So, but it's our right to vote for whoever we want to. Um, Anyways, I hope I haven't really repeated myself very much, and um just because like this is like I don't even know how many times I've just tried to do this. It's a little ridiculous, but um yeah, so I hope that clears some things up for you guys, and I really appreciate the reply. I'm not taking anything for granted. I'm going to use it to my advantage for sure, and yeah, so all right. I don't know. I'm just going to end it there. Thanks. Have a great weekend. Bye.